2, 3.
Good morning. I thought I would, well, first of all, this is Mike Uzina here in nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, Florida, of Menorca Magic handmade cast nets. I want to go over something of most importance with you today. Of the calls I get and mostly emails, people with the question about the widenings, and that is the most important part of a net, because if you didn't have widenings in it, what you'd have is a sock. You wouldn't have a net, you'd have a sock. So anyway, I'm going to cover it. I've done this before, but maybe I was confusing. Maybe I didn't really make myself clear on the way to do it, but so that's what I want to cover with you this morning right quick. I've got a sample here. What you do when you finish that, first of all, when you start a net, you're going to come around, you're going to tie 41 meshes. You're going to bring your tail and your line off your needle together to tie to complete number 42. That completes that first row in that net. Now that is important. You make sure that you get exactly 42 with that. With that said, now when you before you want to go down 7 rows, 7 plain rows. In other words, you're going to just your first row, and you want to come down 7 rows to start your widenings. Now, here's important. After you put in the first widening row, you go 2 plain rows in a widening row, 2 plain rows in a widening row, all the way down. I had a fella call me from all upset from oh gosh, where was he at? He's over on the west coast over there. And he was confused. He thought for some reason in his mind he thought that you put in a winding row and then you go 7 plain rows, and that's what he did. So obviously he caught himself after he got it down about this thing's 3 foot. He got it down to about this long, and he realized that when he spread it, something didn't seem right to him, so he spread it out on the ground and it wasn't going to open. That's when he called me. But it's easy, to get on the wrong track when you're starting out. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. But anyhow, 7 plain rows from the start. Then you're going to put in your first winding row. Very important, that first winding row, because you're going to put them 3 meshes apart. And the way I do it, when I'm on my 7th row, when I start, I tie 1 mesh, put in a widening. Then it's 3 and a widening, 3 and a widening, 3 and a widening, all the way around till I finish that circle. Then, okay, after I put in that last widening and I tie it off, completed that row, I'm going to knit 2 plain rows. Not 7, not 3, not 1, 2 plain rows. Winding row, 2 plain rows. Winding row, 2 plain rows, all the way down. Now, here's where some other, I don't know, I didn't get my point across perhaps, but is every time you put in another winding row, they're going to be 1 further apart. I don't know, Philly, can you able to pick this up, buddy? Can you see those windings, that row, how they follow right underneath one another? And that's what you want to do. Okay.
Hold on. Trying to get the loops in the frame. Okay.
Okay, you got that?
Yeah. Now, it's kind of hard to see though.
Yes, it is. The color. Anyhow, you finish that first winding row, you put in 2 plain rows. Your next winding row, they're going to be 4 apart. Not 3, they're going to be 4 apart. And you want to put them right in line with one another. As you can see this, they're right in line all the way down. They're going to be that way.
All right, hold it steady.
All the way down. Picking that up, buddy?
Yeah, it's a little hard with the green, but it's picking it up.
Yeah. Okay. Now, your second winding row, they're 4 apart. Okay? Your next winding row, your third winding row, they're going to be 5 apart. Your next winding row, they're going to be 6. The next winding row, they're going to be 7. The next one, they're going to be 8. All the way down. I just finished that 7-foot pogie net going to Boston. The last winding row, there were 33 apart. 33 apart. So that is important that you keep those things, like I'm showing you, keeping them right in line. I don't know how to put that. It's Teddy the mullet kitty. I don't know any other way to explain it to you. I showed you this thing, I think as well as I can. Recap, first row, the winding row, 7 rows down, your 8th row is a winding row. Row number 8 is a winding row. Put in a winding, then your 3 meshes of winding, 3 meshes of winding, till you come all the way around. You're going to have, all right, 3 times 14 is what? 42. They're going to be exactly 3 meshes apart all the way around. If you mess up on your first row and don't get 42, if you get 41 or you get 43, it's going to throw you off. Not the end of the world. Don't throw the net away for making a mistake like that, because don't worry about it. As you go down, you're just going to have all the way down. You're going to just keep them in line. You're just going to have 1 further apart all the way, or 2 further apart all the way down. But like I said, don't let that stop you. Okay.
You want to show that the lineup with that other one?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. There's different. We're gonna do things different. I've told you this all along. It's what works for you. Now, my buddy Phil, he made this little net. Well, he likes the small nets. He doesn't care to have these, because what we do is for the fun anyhow. We go. In fact, we're heading to the beach this morning. Now, what he does, I want you to get a good look at this, and you can see how they spread. Now, the way he does his, and that's perfectly fine, if that's the way you want to do it. What he does, before he starts a winding row, he'll go and he'll put a little red dot. That's on the previous winding, right, Phil?
Yep.
Okay. That way, as he comes around, he can't mess up. He doesn't want to get them out of whack. So what he does is he puts his little red dot, and you'll see them all the way down. But it's a classic example showing you how they spread. You see how it's close up here, and as it goes down, it gets wider and wider. That's what's making that net open. If you didn't do it that way, I mean, you can't put. And I have questions. Did you get that good enough?
Yeah, pull it tight again and just hold it, just like that. Just like that.
I have people with questions about, you know, that they just get somewhat hard to understand that they're going to be 1 further apart. And that's the classic. Not complaint. Nobody complains, but they totally understand that the one guy, it was just a day or 2 ago. He was really upset with himself because he started the net and he put in the first winding row, and then when he, I guess he had in his mind. I guess perhaps on some of these other videos, maybe I wasn't clear enough that they're going to be 1 further. Each row they're going to be 1 further apart. All right, I'm beating a dead horse. All right, I think I've covered that pretty good. Now I had a question about the horn. Now you can't buy these horns. I don't know what you're going to use for a horn. We use different stuff. I've used the old Menorcan horn, was a cow horn. I don't have one handy to last. But anyway, to put this horn in the net, you see what I do here. Why I use the a string to start that net with, because that's the line. That is the line that you're going to tie this horn in with. So basically, what you're going to do. I had a comment about this. He was having an awful lot of trouble figuring out how to get his horn in it. So what you would do here is you would take this and what you would do is you take this here and you're going to cut it. You just cut it off, open it up, tie you another knot on these two so that they need to stay tight on you. And then what you're going to do, you're going to come down here and find the top of your net. You're going to find the top of your net. That horn's going to go right in there like that. And the line's going to come around it. Then what you want to do, you're going to work these things around nice and even, all the way around, work them nice and even. And then you're going to take and you're going to tie this. You're going to take this, you're going to take and tie it good and tight, and you're going to wrap it around again and tie it, and so on and so on until you get it good and tight. Use up all of this line, tightening that horn up around that net. That's the way you do that. Okay. One of these days, maybe we'll do a video on strictly on that.
See if mine has a cow horn on it. I'm not sure.
No, yours has got plastic.
Plastic? Okay.
Yeah, you can't find them. If anybody locates these little plastic horns or cone-shaped plastic horns, if anybody out there, if you've run across these any place, let me know where I could feeling I could order some. But you cannot find them. I've been looked all over the place. They just don't make them. They make these rings now. They make different things, but important when you're putting on this thing. And I'm glad Phil brought this because this shows you. See where you want that horn to stop. I mean, yeah, you want that swivel. You want that swivel. See how he's got that? That swivel stops. Can't go down through that horn. You do not want that swivel to go down inside of this net. You're asking for nothing but trouble, tangles, and everything. So it's important that you, if you do anything, putting that horn in, and make sure that you use a system, and they make some good ones out there. Jan's Net Craft sells them. Johnson Net sells them. It's an assembly, horn assembly, that you can put in the top of your net. Well, I think I'm about ready to go over to the beach. Phil, how about you?
Yep.
We're going to go over and see what the mullet's doing this morning. I don't know. I think I've covered everything. Feel free to, the email address is, best way to reach me is Usina Mike, that's USINAMIKE @gmail.com, or Menorcan Magic, MENORCANMAGIC .com, menorcanmagic.com. Phone number's 904-217-7974. I'd like to hear from you. I learn every time I talk to somebody. It's amazing. I learn something. The way things are done, other parts of this beautiful country. Because people, I mean, there's a lot of folks who've really gotten interested in making nets, and they send me pictures. I got a buddy that sent me a picture. Oh, he made a beautiful net. Did a beautiful job. That thing spreads out so pretty and nice, and I appreciate people hearing from people. When that said, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'd like to hear from you. Until the next time, take care of yourself.